Now, looking at your mandate, Colonel, and the time that you have to achieve it, do you think it is doable?
It has to be done. We have no choice.
It has to be done.
We have no choice.
Right.
But remember, what we are about doing is to set the roadmap. It's not the conference itself.
No.
Now, but we want to be driven by the people. It is not our advice. We are to, as it were, analyze, synthesize the people's demand. It's a high time anybody or any government to arrogate power that they know. For a change, the people should be given a chance to air and drive this system. And this is why this system, and I think I commend the president for being this bold, to take an initiative. One, what is unique about this Jonathan's project is that for the first time he had the courage to say there is no no-go area. Every time you always hear people say some areas you cannot go there, as if they are the ones to tell Nigerians which way to go. You see, that arrogance of some people thinking that, oh no, there's some areas you cannot touch. That is disrespect for the Nigerian people. And Jonathan, you should be commended for the courage to say, no, I'm here to serve the people. And I cannot tell the people, set boundaries for them.
Yes.
So that is something unique. And we are saying to the Nigerians that take the chance. Don't blame Jonathan or blame anybody. Take the chance and regain power, which is the people's power.
This is only an advisory committee. If we think back to the days of OBJ, where he would appoint an advisor and he would say to them, nothing says I have to listen to your advice.
That's right.
Do you have a distinct feeling, this Tony Uranta, not this Tony, do you have a distinct feeling that this president is actually going to listen to the advice that this committee comes up with?
If there were a science to body language, if we could divulge all that Mr. President said to us, either individually or as a group privately, I am 95% sure, certain that what we advise Mr. President, he will adhere to. Now, I will quickly say, yes, I was a member of, for example, other committees like the Niger Delta Technical Committee, whose report has gathered dust unbelievably since 2008. But this one, it is not, once we begin these geopolitical visits, the president has no choice. He has given us a mandate. We are making it clear to the people that you people have the control of the reins right now. Decide what you want and say to us, tell him. Now, if the people of Nigeria, and we're going to go round extensively, if they talk and then the president says he decides not to adhere to their advice, it would mean he is not just not a listening president. He is not a president interested in survival. But the President Jonathan that I know, that we all have been seeing, has been a president that is a listening president. And I know that man's basic instinct is to survive. If anybody fails to listen to what the people of Nigeria say over the next 6 weeks or so, I think that person will be courting disaster.
Okay, if we could just go to Abuja. Dr. Mayo, yes. Now you have your colleagues here.
Yes.
We have your colleagues here in Lagos. But then there's a fear that this committee is going to be influenced by the political class.
I think that that fear should be eradicated, because it's not an issue of politics right now. It's the issue of bringing Nigerians, all stakeholders, to talk, speak their minds, and frankly bring out the solutions to Nigerians' problem. So I don't think there'll be anybody that can influence the decision of this committee politically. We are working for Nigerians. We are working for the betterment of our country. We want to see our country grow. We want to see we stay together as one nation.
Okay, now you're saying that you will not be influenced in any way by the political class. Let's look at the issue of women, for instance. Do you think that you are properly represented in this committee?
Yeah, you know, already the affirmative action is there. We are being represented, and I thank Mr. President for that. And among the stakeholders, there will be large group of women, the groups, individuals, civil societies that will fully represent women. And they will speak out for the women, how women can properly be fit in governance of this country.
All right, just hold on there. Mr. Iwanta,
okay.
One of the foremost people who've been clamoring for this, we talked about that earlier, but now that you've been put into a committee to advise the president by the time you're done with your work, we now see it is, I mean, it's out there in the media, the group, MEND, threatening and being angry with you that you have betrayed them, that you're not to be trusted.
First of all, it's in today's papers that I made a rebuttal because I was told to make something. Barring that, it's a very laughable statement by that impostor or whoever that signed that statement. I asked him, my reporter, in fact, I said, is this the anti-Jonathan MEND? Is it a Boko Haram MEND? Or is this one of the phantom MENDs that are now operating all over the country? Anybody can come together and put that insignia of MEND on any letterhead and use any email, because now they're using all different kinds of emails, just the similarities is the word Jomo Bomo.
Exactly.
As we have always reiterated, Jomo Bomo is a ghost. It's just a name that was used by different spokespeople that were authorized by the command structure then of MEND. And when you talk about the command structure of MEND, you cannot in any way leave out the likes of General or Chief Ekwekwumpolo, Tompolo. You cannot leave out the likes of Chief Auje, shoot at sight. You cannot leave out the likes of Farah Dagogo. You cannot leave out the likes of Boylof. And even though he was not strictly a MEND general, in the insurgency or unrest of the Niger Delta, you cannot leave out the likes of Atake Tom. Now, if none of these people are part of this structure that is now calling itself MEND.
How do you know that?
I know that because all of these other people belong to groups that I'm a member of. And they have all embraced amnesty. They have even publicly, severally, disassociated themselves with these different groups that are now masquerading under the name of MEND.
If I may come in here, some of the things that their statement has, let me just read out a few. It says that the advisory committee is another deceit, a distraction, a waste of public funds and time, which has absolutely nothing else to offer. Now, it says that reversing the injustice meted out, especially from the General Yakubu Gowon and Olusegun Obasanjo regimes, onto the people of the Niger Delta is one of such responsibilities. Now, these are some of the things they're talking about. And before MEND, on Twitter also, we have some people talking about the fact that this committee, and indeed the clamor for the National Conference, is just another waste of time and resources.
Without even referring to Twitter